So there was this big bash.
A party?
Party, bash, whatever, in the city. It's what we came down for, the thing, the get-together. That's why we did it in the first place.
It's our old ward, second ward. I got a flyer in the mail.
Couple of wards together, I think, mixed and meeting in the city. Ballroom over at the plaza.
Which really sounded nice, you know?
It's expensive.
I mean elegant.
Oh, but that's cool. Manhattan, always had a good time there, right?
People from high school were gonna go.
Because we're juniors up at BC, so there's still lots of guys that we know.
Seniors now, mostly.
All these seniors, guys like that, who we're still in touch with. Friends, you know?
This was just after midterms.
Sue's a year ahead. Almost. 2 semesters. We're both juniors, but nearly a year. Both going to BC.
Boston College. You know, we almost didn't get in. I mean, both of us.
My GPA, but we decided early, back in Greeley, junior year maybe, that we'd do college together.
And Boston seemed about right, you know? 4 hours from home.
It's a little over 3, if you push it. I don't like to go too crazy with my V-dub. But it's only about 3 hours if you're really moving. 3.5.
Oh, it's beautiful up around there. I mean, Massachusetts, New England, all of that's just gorgeous this time of year. Leaves turning.
That just sounded really nice. Weekend back in the city, stop in, maybe say hi to the folks. Be good to go down for a couple of days.
So I contacted the 3 people going to school with us. Oh, you know, from our stake. The 3 members going to BC as well.
One guy's into my house. David's his name. Didn't really hang out with him at home or anything. Different ward, and he plays lacrosse. But he's cool.
He's nice guy.
Ends up, we talked 2 other couples into going back with us. Guy from my house, this David guy.
We took his car down.
And a friend of mine, Tim, elder Freeman, whatever. From my ward, year below me, but studying at BC, same time.
And it seemed right, you know?
Oh, because I've got this old VW, right? Well, I said that. Man, it's so great. 73 with the metal bumpers and all that, but needs a tune-up, but I'm not going to drive 3 hours with all these guys.
We all thought we could go down together. You know, one car. Everybody wanted to. Gonna be in the city at this hotel, a live band and everything.
And so 6 of us. A girl that's going out with this David from my fraternity. Karen's her name, I think. Yeah, she was coming too. It's a non-member, but coming because she knew the city pretty well, grew up just off the park, and they were getting along good. So 6 of us all together now. 6 for the ride, and the V-dub is definitely out of the question.
I mean, David said he'd drive if we wanted.
Oh, he's got one of those Isuzu Troopers. Roomy, big.
And we're all picked up at 3 in the afternoon Saturday.
Same weekend as preference, back up at school, but we hadn't planned on going, you know. So then Sue gets the flyer, and suddenly I'm rushing around fighting for tuxedos. 10 minutes to 6 Friday afternoon. Ended up with a Perry Ellis. Finally. Size big, but I got one. Looks okay, doesn't it?
Oh, it looked good on him. I mean, I had to put a safety pin in the vest, in the back of it, but it was really nice when he had it on.
We left him in the bags, the 3 of us guys, hanging in the trooper for the ride. No sense getting them all messed up for no reason, right?
I have this dress I've been saving. All chiffon. I've been saving it for something like this. Did I mention that? Oh, I needed to find some shoes, but I thought the dress was perfect.
We missed the game. BC's first conference. Yeah, it's in a way, but we could have watched it at our place with a bunch of the guys. They always order in pizza and everything. Oh, but no, jump in with all these people. Road trip.
Tim's girlfriend, Patrice. Oh, I've known her for years.
With about a dozen overnight bags, tuxedos hanging from all corners of Dave's Isuzu. And the girls decided to wear their outfits.
It's my black dress.
Oh, Sue has got this knockout thing. It's a sheer black dress with a what's it called?
With a plunged V neckline.
A plunged V neckline? Oh, and a silk slip underneath? Oh, but it's chic too, right? Classic lines. See, it's a dinner dress. Dress you wear out to dinner, dining. Not something a girl would pick out, you know, junior prom with spaghetti straps all clomping up. Oh, she looked great. Proud to be with her.
Oh, I knew it'd get all wrinkled. A little. I did. Chiffon is terrible for that, but I just thought it sounded so wonderful, you know? Getting out at some Amico in the middle of Connecticut in this wave of chiffon and buying, oh, I don't know, a Milky Way, a can of soda, and the attendant's mouth just hanging open at the side of us.
I'm putting gas in. One time we stopped and look up. I see nothing but chiffon and silk and whatnot, just miles of it going down the snack aisle. That killed me.
I was carrying my shoes. Oh, I did find a pair. Even had time to dye them to match. But I took them off in the car, and so I was just holding them in the store. So I'm standing there in my stockings, carrying my shoes.
I'll always remember that. Her smiling at me through the glass there, a little bit of chocolate on her lips, and carrying her shoes.
Oh, this was going to be a great party. I could feel it.
The ward usually threw a pretty good bash at times we'd go into the city. At my farewell there, went to Great Britain.
It was our anniversary.
Last minute I got her a corsage. Oh, not the wrist kind. I hate those. But this was beautiful. White blossoms. I can't remember what kind exactly, but they were white. I remember that.
I loved it. The softest pink it was. I mean, John thought it was white, but it was really just the lightest pink. The last shade of pink it could possibly be before turning into something else. And you know, he pricked his finger on it, John did, as he pinned it on me, pricked his index finger.
Stupid pin.
And then, a spot of blood. Just a drop, but he ended up with a touch of blood on his shirt.
Couldn't even see it if I buttoned up the jacket.
But see, in a weird way, though, it excited me. The blood. Is that stupid to say? Oh, I mean, probably, but it did. I mean, it was stunning to look at, you know? All that white on him, the bright of his shirt, and then this splash of
This red.
blood on his chest.
Didn't get any in her dress, however. Nothing. Felt good about that. Wouldn't want to ruin her anniversary dress.
6 years.
Huh? Believe that? 6! Since, summer of our 3rd year of high school. Wow.
I saw him on the track one day, lived 6 blocks away all my life in seminary together, but I never really saw him until he was jogging this one time.
I like to keep in shape.
He always kept his hair short, you know, kind of trimmed up.
My dad cut it. Believe that? 16 years old, my dad drags me into the kitchen every other Sunday. Well, he was bishop at the time. I asked him if this wasn't considered work, you know, haircutting, but he just said that I had a big mouth. Anyway, I could always count on the standard Sears portrait cut. I was always a little worried about my ears, they kind of stick out.
But I see him running. Really running, blistering by people who were just jogging or walking, and I don't know, this guy's cute, nice body, and I don't know him.
My dad was away for the summer, teaching a survey course in Lit in London or some type of thing. Well, I didn't really know or care. I could let my hair grow. I mean, that's what I saw coming out of this whole deal. My mom didn't mind at all.
So I put down my softball glove and my purse and all of that, and I just start running too. I mean, I can't keep up, but I go a little slower, a little faster every so often so that he's catching me more quickly on every lap.
I knew who she was. She was dating a guy I knew.
That was over. We broke up like 2 weeks before. He was this, I don't know, he left the church and there's this completely bad scene at a party, the screaming, and he's sort of a drunk, and so it's over. I mean, we're still calling each other, but it's definitely over.
I'd heard about this. I mean, you hear about everything at some time in your life, right? And this was a thing that you kept up on in high school. Girls you secretly liked but couldn't get at because they were dating someone else, you know, maybe a friend, and so you file them away and hope the guy joins the army or gets a mission called a Laos or something. Or back at school even. And you and she end up on the same floor at some dorm in Florida. Oh, the best would be like a major football moment, like touchdown to take the state championship, something majestic like that, but anything. I mean, camp counselors even would do, you know, she was that kind of girl.
And we're running together now, and he's pretending he's winded and needs to slow down, and I'm just trying to keep up. And around we go, the sun going down, we're not speaking at all, and we just keep going in circles.
Then he shows up.
We really had stopped dating, but he was going to give me a ride home. Oh, you know, just friendly, because the track and the softball field are like 3 miles from my house.
He pulls his car right onto the track, like into the lanes. Nice new Sirocco, all black, that he got as a graduation gift from his dad. He was a year or so older.
I slowed down a little.
And I can see what's coming because I know him, and we've had a few laughs together. We're not friends exactly, but we're friends of friends. That's what we are.
But I don't want to leave.
This is actually how we got together. It's kind of a funny story.
And so he chases me down the track because we just jog right by him, right around the car for a couple of laps and keep on going.
Well, why am I going to stop? He's not my boyfriend.
We weren't dating anymore. He couldn't call it that.
See, and he grabs me, turns me around after grabbing me. He turns on me and he says, "Hey." And he's holding on to me about my size, and one of his nails is digging into my nipple, holding my chest like he is. He's got these, long nails in one hand.
He plays guitar. He's very good.
And this hurts. And I'm standing there thinking, this doesn't need to be happening. And I turn on him. Never spoke to him the whole time, just turned on him and flipped him over onto the ground and started pounding on his head. It's a surface track, so he's not getting too banged up, but I am hitting him pretty good. And Sue's just standing there, waiting.
I'd never seen this happen before.
Finally, he stops squirming around and I hit him one more time. I mean, high schoolers, right? You go a bit overboard in a fight. And I walk over, grab her stuff, give it to her, and we take off. Siroko's still sitting there, people having to jog around it. Sunlight dancing off the hood of this thing as we head home.
We walked all the way.
Notice my reflection in it as we go by. Bloody nose, him grabbing at me.
I had 2 huge blisters the next day.
And I kissed her. Standing there on her porch, still didn't say a word. But we've been dating 6 years since then, and I never heard back from the other guy again after that. Oh, I shot baskets with him about a year ago over by the elementary, and he didn't seem so mad or nothing.
Sometimes we fight. We do. Just like anybody else. Or break up. Whatever. John dated someone freshman year. I met a guy in biology class. John was on his mission. It didn't last. Oh, we're getting engaged this summer. We've already planned it.
The point being, it's our anniversary, right? We're hoping to have a great time and whatnot. Want it all to be special? Weekend in the city. Girls want to go shopping in the village if there's time. Whatever. We talked about catching the train on the way home. Alone. Sleep in the car. I'm kidding.
Everyone just wanted to get away.
Ends up, we do go to my parents' house on Sunday. My dad makes me sit down. "Oh, you look like a bushman," first thing out of his mouth. I mean, what's he mean by that? And he tries to give me a haircut. Halfway through my pre-med, he's still trying to cut my hair.
I thought it was kind of funny. I mean, I could hear them arguing in the other room. Oh, his hair really does look better when it's long. It does.
But that's later on anyway.
So we make it into the city in less than 4 hours. Weekend traffic, that's not bad.
Hey, does it look stupid? Seriously, I mean it. Do my ears look funny at all?
$18.50 for 10 hours of parking. Oh, that's a lot of God. And then we all walk over to the hotel together. The guys carrying these big dry cleaning bags over their shoulders.
We decided to go in a room together, all of us. I mean, not for anything, Forget it. I'm just telling you so we could change and everything. Better than wrinkling our stuff up, right?
We get in. Still a few hours before the party's gonna start, so we decide to use the facilities. Take a jacuzzi, whatever. Lots of time to get changed again. It's fun. I got back into my dress.
I'm lacing up my shoes, tying them up. She walks out of the bathroom. Like I said, this is 6 years we've been going together. And I am still staring at the best looking girl that I have ever seen. I'm just completely in love. Serious.
Makeup. Try and put on some makeup in some hotel bathroom and you'll understand the meaning of devotion. I mean, sinks in those places, even the plaza, are impossibly small. A postage stamp of a mirror I'm using. But I want to look nice. For him. I bought a new lipstick at the counter they had there. It's vivid. Crimson.
She walks into the living room of this hotel suite. City full of models and actresses, the beautiful people. And I can't see anything else. It's like we've been thrown back to the garden, just 2 of us staring at each other across this great green meadow. My side still hurting from the missing rib and all, but she's revealed to me. Golden hair and a face like fresh snow, and I'm thinking, hey, screw the bone. Here's why he rested on the 7th day, because they can't get any better than this. I mean, I'm not so poetic or whatever, but that's exactly what I'm thinking.
The dress helps a lot, because I'm not going to kid myself, it does. but I can see that he's really happy. Oh, and his tux looks really handsome. Oh, this is going to be great. A really good evening. I could feel it.
And we walk downstairs, arm in arm. Man, feels so nice to stroll past all these people. Rich guys, girl like that in my arm. Made me feel strong, you know? Powerful. The crowd almost glides apart as we approach.
We've got nowhere to go. The party's not until later.
Because this bash is starting downtown, just kind of picking up folks along the way. Guys from home are jumping in at any point and are all set to meet us at the plaza. Later.
Nothing but possibilities. Wherever we looked, I really felt that walking along.
It's on and on. A couple hours pass. David's girlfriend, Karen, takes the lead at some point, walking us through the park. Over by that bridge, the one pond by the Delacorte. Moon smiling down on us, romance hanging over a night like this out of some storybook, some tale by maybe Scott Fitzgerald or those guys. I really do love this girl. I mean, that is the thing that is screaming out of my head right then.
He was holding my hand so tight.
And there's a swan or two out on the water. Little breeze, October, but it's still warm. I mean, you know how that can be. Perfect. The perfect night. And then, just off to our left, there's this like little patch of woods near the path. Here comes this rustling.
I thought it might be some teenagers or who knows what. We all started to walk a little faster.
Well, I am not scared. But it's night, city all around. I mean, what else can you do? Girls with you? So we walk along. And two guys, middle-aged guys, LL Bean shirts on, the whole thing, come out of the dark, smiling. And I do not need a map to tell me what's been going on. I don't.
It's just two men walking alone. It's no big deal.
Yeah, coming out of the weeds they were, off in the dark alone, and those smiles. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I mean, we're going to this party, all dressed up. What should we care, right? One dude looks like my dad, a little. You know, it's dark, but he had that look, right? That settled, satisfied sort of. Anyway, off they head, arms linked together, and nothing that we say is ever going to change what they are. Dance all night. Sue, as stunning as she has ever looked, and I am telling you, I can't get that picture, the image of it out of my head. Those smiles, I just can't do it. Oh, but the party's great. It really is.
I haven't danced like that in a long time.
It was like the beginning of a magical evening. Everything was right. It was pristine, you know? And we just kept on dancing, the two of us. Danced 4 hours round and round.
They'd done the whole place. Oh, the room, I mean, when we finally got inside, in these blues and golds with these great moons, these golden crescents hanging above us.
Like smiles. Like the moon smiling down.
I thought we looked pretty nice together. Looked like a couple, you know?
It was fun. Back like that in the city. I mean, it's always fun. Saw a lot of guys that we know.
I saw my little sister there. There was some boy from Greeley. He's in debate, he said. He seems nice enough. She likes him.
We ran into Sue's sister. Did she mention that?
Hadn't seen her since August.
Yeah, younger sister Maureen with some kid.
He's not a member.
He was okay. Oh, they had a good band going. Reggae.
I've never been to the plaza before. I mean, past it, shopping and whatever with my mom, but never to it. Oh, it was tremendous. So much glass, high white walls. It was like a cake, like some wedding cake left there on the corner downtown. It's what it reminded me of. The whole thing, though, the trip, the dance and all, it made me sleepy.
Sue went upstairs to our room we'd rented with Karen and Tim's girlfriend, Patrice.
I'd known Patrice in Sunbeams.
Said they wanted to take a quick nap, just a half hour or so, whatever. Then we'd go grab a bite. This was like maybe 1:30.
And we all thought we'd fall asleep together on that bed.
So, we hung out downstairs a bit, talked to some guys from home, Tim, Dave, and myself.
It's a king-size bed, a gold comforter on it.
I was a touch bored, room was warm, lots of people we didn't recognize, so I suggested a walk. Let's head over to the park. About 6, 7 of us all together. It was still nice out.
I'm not sure what time it was.
We strolled around a bit. Over by the Paris Theater, some guy, younger guy, he kicks over a garbage can. I mean, it happens, You get together, doing stuff, it's no big deal. It's just garbage. About 15, 20 minutes later, we split up. A lot of the high schoolers want to get back to the bash, but us three, Tim, Dave, and myself, no hurry. Just kind of wander around a bit, hanging out. After a while, we shoot over into Central Park, the 59th Street entrance, looking around, talking. It's really dark in there. The only lights coming from these buildings way off. It's kind of exciting.
I thought I looked up at 2, or maybe 2:15, but I don't know, because I just kept sleeping.
And then I saw them. Both of them, those guys.
I was so tired.
They were saying goodnight. Well, not saying it exactly, but kissing. 2 men. Grown men standing in this park, public park, in the middle of New York, and kissing like something out of a Clark Gable film, tongues out, and these arms around each other, and nothing else in the world matters to these two. Just finishing off the day. Big night at the symphony, or some foreign film, who knows. Oh, but it's this, thanks so much, and see you soon, and hands all where they shouldn't be. Come on. I know the scriptures. Know them pretty well. And this is wrong. We kind of squeeze up against a couple of trees, off in the dark, Tim crouching on the ground, watching this, out near the ramble. Man, you read about it? Or you even see that film, what was it, with the Superman guy? Death Trap, right? And you live with it. You don't love it, you don't condone it for the world, still you go on living, live and let live, whatever. But this, I figure, is flaunting it. As much our park as theirs, right? And we're in town one night, that's all one. We gotta witness this? Men old enough to be our fathers, middle-aged and clutching at one another like Romeo and Juliet. And they whisper something and chuckle for a second, hands on each other's bottoms. I start to feel sick. Nauseous. Then one last peck on the cheek and one disappears down a trail headed for the west side. He is gone. The other, looks like my dad, glances around. Taking in the night, I guess. Big smile up at the moon. And then he kind of casually strolls over to this men's room, 50 yards off, concrete building with the steps going down, whistling as he goes. He was whistling. I don't even stop to think this through, but motion the other two to follow me.
I thought about getting out of my dress, but I couldn't move. All of us, we were all sleeping so peacefully. But did you know Patrice snores? She does, a little.
As we're moving down the landing towards the restroom, I glance over at Dave. He's got that look. I recognize that look anywhere, and Tim's starting to smile.
I don't think I even dreamed that night.
Before going in, I tell the other guys to hold off. Wait out here for me till they get my signal, and that's the plan. Wait for me to flush them out. Make sure no one wanders by. When I get inside, it is like another world. I mean, the walls are exploding with graffiti. The place stinks. There's 2 bulbs burnt out. Some old dude curled up asleep in the corner. And our friend's legs, I spot, patiently sitting in a stall, waiting, not a care in the world. I slip into the booth next to his, start fumbling with my belt, this, that. Like clockwork, this guy's hand comes up under my side of the partition. His signal, pink fingers wiggling up at me, imploring. I noticed this thin gold band on his little finger, catching the light. So I lay my open palm in his. And 2 minutes later, we are standing by the mirrors, big pieces of stainless steel, really standing and sizing each other up. Small talk. His name's Chet. And I don't even bat an eyelash as he moves in. His lips playing across my cheek. Let him run his tongue along my teeth. And a hand, free hand, tracing down my flag. I just smile. Smile and even lick his chin for a second. For a single second. I see his shoulders relax. Then I whistle. I let out a whistle that sends him stumbling back, blinking and kind of waving his arms in the air as Tim and Dave appear in the doorway. Now he looks at them, looks and comes back from his fantasies long enough to touch down on Earth. A flicker in his eyes, realizing that no good can come from this. And he starts babbling. This guy, Chet, probably a VP, some bank on Park Avenue. Oh, and he's babbling and wetting himself like an infant. I don't remember it exactly, but I think he even got on his knees. Like down on his knees. Oh, and the begging! Pleading! My first shot catches him against the cheek, just under the eye, and he slams into a sink. Ah! All snot and blood running down. No. With so many of us hitting, tearing at him, it's hard to get off a clean punch. Oh, but I know I connected a few more times. Wait. I feel his head, the back of it, start to soften as I go. But I just pick a new spot and move on. Tim is kicking him long after he's nearly blacking out. Please, stop! Finally, we start to relax a bit, looking at what we've done, exhausted, spent. I mean, this man is not moving. May never move again, and we know it's time to leave. Oh, believe this, guy in the corner sleeps through the whole thing. Before we leave, Tim leans into it one more time, takes a little run at it, and he smashes his foot against the bridge of this guy's nose, and I just see it give way. I mean, just up and move to the other side of this guy's face. Wow. And then it's silence. Not a sound. And for the first time, we look over at Dave, Tim and me. I mean, really Look at him. Us together, Tim, myself, that's one thing. That's unspoken, our bond. But we don't really know Dave. Don't really know him. What is he thinking? And right then, as if to answer us through revelation, he grabs the nearest trash can, big wire mesh thing, raises it above his head, and whispers, "Fag." I will always remember that. That's all. And brings that can down right on the spine of the guy, who sort of shudders a bit, expelling some air. Down on his back as I'm leaning over, pulling the pinky ring off. I told you I noticed it. Then, and I still can't even believe this, then Tim does the most amazing thing. This will go down in the record books. There, with the three of us over this guy's body, he pulls out his keychain, opens the little cylinder he's got dangling on the end of it, and dumps the last of his oil, consecrated oil, on this dude's forehead. Now, I am not kidding. Dumps it and starts offering up a short blessing. I'm getting delirious. This is like almost surreal. There, halfway along, Tim's praying. We start giggling like schoolboys. just howling, you know. Can't catch our breath. Tears are running down because we find it all so funny. Stop! And that's how we leave them. Slip out, one by one, running back towards the plaza in the dark, whooping it up like Indians. Whoa! War cries! And running with just a trace of moonlight, dancing off the pond as we go.
The phone woke me up.
We called the room from the street, wanted to take the girls out for breakfast. Say they'd be down in 15 minutes, so we waited outside.
I got the other girls up. It took a minute, but I got them up. I felt really refreshed. I did.
Dave's walking around on the curb, talking to himself. Tim grabs me, pulls me aside, wants to ask me something. Well, what? I say. Wants to know why I touched the guy? Let him kiss me? See, he'd seen it. Glanced inside and seen it happen. But I didn't know. I didn't have an answer. Isn't that strange?
It was so quiet in the lobby as we were leaving that I started to tiptoe out. Isn't that funny?
I couldn't answer him. And you know what? He never asked again. He didn't. Oh, he pointed out to me, though, that my shirt had blood on it, like a misting of blood, probably from the guy as I was pulling the ring off. And my tux was covered, so I got it in quick. I asked Tim to hit me in the face, give me a bloody nose so I could explain it to Sue. Only hurt for a second. Oh.
We all met at the front of the hotel, and I saw John's face all cut up like it was. You see, he'd fallen down, racing along the fountain out front, slipped and blood on everything. Silly games.
Had a great meal. You know, you can't get those German sausages for breakfast, the big fat ones, anywhere but Manhattan. You can't.
I was eating my French toast, just eating along, and I noticed this glint in my water glass, a spark of light. Oh, John had slipped a ring in it, a beautiful gold thing. I loved him so much in that moment.
Happy anniversary, I said.
It was a little big, but fits pretty well. Had this wonderful leaf pattern all the way around.
It looked nice in her. I liked it.
And I kissed him there, in front of everyone, and we all laughed, and he blushed a bit.
Oh, I can't tell you what a wonderful weekend we had.
We did end up catching the Amtrak back up. Oh, just Sue and myself. Dave dropped us at Grand Central. Lots of thank yous and see you Mondays. Tim even gave me a hug. It's the first time he ever did that.
It was my idea, the train.
And saw our parents, stopped in on Sunday, even managed to make it back to our meetings in the ward. Oh, that was really nice.
Oh, I like Relief Society at home so much better.
And then had dinner with the folks, and then the late train back up to Boston.
You know, it's funny, I probably shouldn't even mention this, but a fight broke out. Oh, well, not a fight, but an argument between a man and his girlfriend. A lot of yelling. And she stands up, and she starts pulling on her coat, and this guy, middle of a crowded compartment, just backhands her. He did.
Knocked her up against the window. Really hard.
Everybody got quiet, and I could feel John tense up, getting all tense. But this couple was kind of dirty looking and looked like those kind of people. I don't know what I mean by that exactly, but they were. And so I asked John, I whispered to him to let it go. And you know, he didn't so much as bat an eyelash, just kept holding my hand, holding it and playing with the ring on my finger. Oh, that made me so happy.
I could see that he'd given her a bloody nose.
And they pretty much quieted right down after that, so it's no big deal.
Anyway,
we're getting engaged this summer, for sure. Did I mention that?
And finally, as we tumbled along towards Massachusetts, nearly midnight, I could feel Sue falling asleep on my shoulder, all warm, protected.
I hope it's a fall wedding. I always think they're the most beautiful.
Not me. Couldn't do it, just couldn't drift off, so I sat up, watching the lights dance by, the moon smiling down. And you know what? I started whistling to myself. I did.
I was asleep, sleeping there on John's arm, but I swear I could hear music.
Not loud, don't even recall the tune, but I was whistling with myself. I was. That much I remember.
This beautiful music, like the sound of angels calling us home.